Legend has it that when the game of basketball was invented, they nailed a peach basket up to a post. And the players would shoot the ball into the basket. A guy on a ladder would pull the ball out of the basket and throw it down to the players on the court. This went on for years until eventually somebody shot a ball through the peach basket, the bottom fell out, and everybody said, whoa, how simple. How come nobody thought of this before? A scientist tries to invent a permanent adhesive, thin, so it could fit on the back of paper and the paper could be stuck up anywhere. He fails. And in trying to get rid of all of the paper that he had created by giving it away to the secretaries around the office, he comes in the next day and there are yellow stickies everywhere. And thus, Post-it notes were born. So simple. How come nobody thought about this before? I'm going to show you a way today that you can authenticate users for your VPN and websites that is so simple, you'll walk away saying, hey, how come nobody thought about this before? I'm Scott Goldman. I'm the co-founder and CEO of TextPower, makers of the patent-pending text key authentication system. Now, because we started in the text messaging business, when we looked at the way other security companies were sending text messages to phones with a code that then had to be entered into an open field on a website, we said, hey, they're doing this wrong. And the reason that they're doing it wrong is because security from a text message that is sent to a phone is non-existent. When you send a text message to a phone, there's no security at all. However, when a text message is sent from a phone, it's incredibly secure. Users can authenticate their identity just by sending a text message. Let me show you how that works. The way that typical two-factor authentication mechanisms work, which you probably know about if you have a Gmail or Facebook account, is that there's a user ID and a password on a page. You click the login button, and then what happens is a text message gets sent to your phone, and you then have to enter the code that appears on your text message into that field on the phone. Well, we've turned that process, what we like to think is right side up. As you can see, the code is plainly displayed on the web page and must be sent from the phone that is associated with the user's account. So let's do that. I'm going to send this code from the phone that's associated with this account, 5959057. And now before I hit the send button, I want to make sure that we switch back to the web page because this usually happens pretty quickly. I'm going to send this text message, and the text message has gone out. Whoa, success. I've been granted access to this website. How did this happen? How did it happen so quickly? And why is it better than other methods? Well, first of all, we actually piggyback on the carrier's security. When a phone is manufactured, any phone that you carry, they all have their own individual fingerprint. That fingerprint is burned into a chip. It's a long hexadecimal code burned into a chip that's installed in your phone at the factory. So when that text message is sent from my phone, the carrier actually looks to see if the mobile number that sent it matches that fingerprint that's in their records. If it doesn't, they don't send the text message and we don't even get it to authenticate. The next thing that happens is we look at the mobile number that sent that text message to make sure that it's the one that's associated with that account. If the text message came from any other phone, it'll be fraudulent. Finally, we look to match the key that was displayed on the page with the key that was sent by the cell phone that's associated with that account. If the two of those match, we do a secure handshake around the browser. The browser is not involved, so there are no man in the middle, no man in the browser attacks. Those are impossible. we do a secure handshake around the browser to grant or deny access to an account. So what happens when you try to do this fraudulently? Now I'm a hacker. Let's do this differently. Now I'm going to try to log into a different account that has a different phone associated with it, but it's expecting that message to come, the authentication message to come from that other phone, not from my phone. So let's see what happens here when the hacker would do exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to send that text message from my phone, 1154343. I'm going to send that text message. And what happens now? When it gets sent, oh, fraud detected. I've been caught. My career as a hacker is short-lived. Now, why was this fraud detected? Very simply, even though I sent a message from a legitimate phone, it came from a phone from a mobile number that was not associated with this account. So we immediately recognized it as being fraudulent. It's a better, simpler way for all of the authentication to occur. You see, the way that this works is really, your website is locked, and this phone is the only key. We can authenticate all different types of sites, anything that's got a VPN, anything that's got a login, whether it's a VPN or a website login, anything that has any of that, we can authenticate just by sending a text message. It's so simple. It's so effective. It's so secure. I hope that you will be asking yourselves, this is so simple. How come nobody thought about this before? Thank you.